Good morning and welcome back, folks. My name is Zai. We are here with Draconic Seek on this Monday morning, taking a long road trip. Hope everybody is doing well this morning. As you can hear, the new microphone has been installed. I need to make a course correction. So we are leaving the moon and heading for the far side of Earth on a timetable to turn in a uh, recovery piece that we got. And it's 261 kilometers away. So, uh, I'm not going to spend the whole time in the chair. I'm just going to kind of wait till we get underway here a little bit, and then I'm going to dampen to the ship and start doing some work on changing because I cannot abide by my ship looking like this any longer. So, uh, we are, I don't know if y'all can see it or not, where it says deliver technical blueprints. That is where we are headed to. And we have a full load. Well, I'd say a nice size load of ice thanks to our new miner that we bought at the station. I believe this location is in space on the other side of Earth. So we are going to be kind of cresting across the top and then trying to use our GPS of Earth to follow the crescent just outside of the gravity range and still do all of this in 2 hours and 52 minutes, which I think we're going to be fine on time, honestly. Um, let's get up and see. Yep, we are dampened. Though I feel like we are slowly turning. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust to a straight trajectory here. We're going to hit gas. Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew we were still adjusting some. Oh, I had the dampeners back on so that the other thrusters would kick in. Okay. So now I'm going to hold down the Alt. There it is. And we are now going to be moving in with the ship, but like the ship is going to be adjusting a little bit. The ship's going in a straight line. We are adjusting a little bit without it. So, yeah, this is going to be a heck of a journey right here. Um, so let's talk about our ship a little bit. And I just vented this, but that's okay because we have plenty of oxygen. All right, so kind of what I want to do. I'm trying to figure out if the ship is slowly twisting or if I'm slowly twisting. That's just weird. Anyways, So we're going to come up here on the top. And what I want to do is we're going to take out some blocks here. No, we're going to leave that one. We might leave that one. We're going to take this one out. And I've got to figure out. Got to keep an eye out going forward just to make sure we don't get some random rocks in the way. So my intentions for this hole that's here in the middle is I'm going to put a second battery in. So let's go ahead and just get that done real quick. And I actually want to change that to a Warfare battery because I like the Warfare batteries more than the facing really doesn't matter, but I'm being particular because I can. All right. Why 70? Is there really? Yep, there are really 80 power cells. Okay. So we might not be able to put that all the way in just yet. So we're going to put those to production. Ooh, I'm already cooking. I've been out here like 30 seconds. Okay. So we go inside, we sit down. Nope. Our trajectory is actually changing. I bet you that's going to be because we have the uh extra grid. The God. Our miner. The fact that we have our miner on the side of the ship, I think that's going to just kind of cause us to twist and turn as we fly. We're still flying in a straight line and whatnot. We are still steadily closing the distance to the station. That's all I care about. We might need to consider that like in the future, like as we build something else, but for the moment, food. We need to eat. 34, 36. Let's eat a ramen. All right. Let's go ahead and move one of those over. And let's go into the assembler and drop those off to be summarily tier. My service dog is having a day today. Okay, so we are going to get all of what we need. I am not going to go check out that. We do not have time to go get into it with the pirates. All right. We finish on cooking a little bit here. I think I'm going to actually pick up those parts and go under the ship to work on welding because I think that's keeping us out of the sun. Yeah. Okay. It's not allowing us to see what's going on up ahead. But that's okay. So I want to say that we need to stay 80 off of the core of the planet to stay out of Atmo. I'm going to stay to 90 unless we break into the edge of gravity, in which case we'll adjust it based on what we learned at that point. As of right now, we are kind of slowly descending, but we're not in the gravity. And like I said, we're still cutting off the distance between here and there. So that's what I'm up, except for the fact that I think that is a rock that just appeared in our path. Yep. Okay. So thruster's hot and adjusting trajectory. Nice. Didn't have to adjust it by much. So apparently that rock was probably going to sail overhead. Kind of tempted to like fly out and check and see if there's anything of use on it, but I'm not interested in accidentally losing the ship today, so no. All right, so we need a camera up here somewhere. One of the things I'm thinking about doing is changing the spine from the half blocks to the full size blocks. But I'm also thinking about trying to extend the width of the overall inside to 3, which is a little bit more of a major overhaul than what I want to do while I'm flying along. I am directly in the path of the sun. Let me take my butt inside. All right, so those of you who are here today, anybody who's willing to speak up and chat, does the audio sound better? Do you feel like you can hear me better today? Hopefully that is a yes. And more space pirates. We are 124 from down on the planet. And we're under 200 kilometers away from our intended target, so I will accept these things. Okay. I wonder if I mean, in theory, I could invert the ship so that I can be working on the top of it and not be out in the sun. I do think that we're going to wait till we get a little bit further past this beacon that's just above us. Yep. That's the rock right there. So, how was everybody's weekend? Did you do anything cool? Did you play any Space Engineers? Did you do any tabletop gaming? Like, feel free to tell me something that made you happy this weekend. Wish we had time to go to the beacon, but we do not. Oh, I'm not digging the fact that we're so close to that whatever is up there. Trying to see if I can spot it. It was in one of those rocks, I'm pretty sure. It was actually below the rock. It was a ship, and I think it may have been trying to follow us, but we just sort of scooted right on past. So I'm going to take that for the blessing that it was. We are almost officially starting into the crescent here. I wanted to do more building, and I may just flip the ship over and fly it upside down getting there, but I'm also trying to keep, here, let's go ahead and roll. Get back on target here. Trying to get lined up on it before I make the adjustment. Okay. So we are about as lined up as we're going to get. All right. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of pretty much all the armor up top for the moment. So I think we're going to relay out the top of the ship. And that's going to go forward to here for the moment. I know that there is a connection. I'm guessing it's back here underneath of this thruster. I haven't really like dissected this thing yet. Ooh. What did I get hit by? I must have come through the thruster, huh? Yeah, let's heal back up from that. We're in gravity. Okay. So we need to ascend. Okay. So we're going to need to ascend hard here for a little bit. We need to figure out what the number is going to be when we break Atmo. Okay, 103. So we need to stay 105. Okay, so let's just come to a complete stop real quick. I'll find out now if that thruster's or if that cargo container is getting. Okay. I'll check on its health after we get done fixing this fiasco. Okay. First of all, we turn towards the Earth like planet. So we need to stay 105. We need to deliver the technical blueprint, so we need to turn this way. And yeah, it's definitely in orbit. Okay. So for the moment, we need to head like so. And we need to stay. Wow. Okay. We might still go back into Atmo. Uh, I'm going to wait till the station's a little bit further up off of the horizon, and then we'll turn and just make real gentle adjustments to hold between 103 and 105. Little tiny adjustments from here on out. I wanted to focus on working on the ship, but coasting the edge of gravity has got to take priority for the moment. All right. I'm going to move our view to where we're aiming just north of the station. We are just coasting it right now. So, my plan is to get here, turn in the blueprints, and then see what kind of ships they have here. If this is one of the ones that sells like a variety of ships, we may stay here and work on our rep for a short period of time and upgrade our ship a little bit. Nothing like, almost slamming into a rock. I think we just passed over the. Yep, we just passed over the center line for the planet. So maintaining our cursor just above where we're heading. Just going to give it a See how we're just holding right there at that 103.37 down in the bottom? That is perfect for the moment. I don't care if it ascends as long as it's not descending, but starting to keep us on aim for the station now. We have 2 hours to get there. We're definitely going to get there. We've gone through all the ice we had on board because we have stopped putting back into the fuel tank. So that'll be something we need to keep in mind. I have a plan for that when we get ready to modify the ship. Nice. Okay. So we are unfortunately going to be tied in the pilot seat the rest of the journey because we're going to have to make these micro adjustments. Of course it is. At least we have some sort of a gun above us or to the side of us. I don't know that we're going to be in the area long enough for it to matter, but a little bit anyway. Well, that was weird. Apparently my headset's going to randomly turn off now. That just tells me I definitely need to get a different one. We are just cresting right outside of the atmosphere. I love it. Or not the atmosphere, but the gravity well for the planet. And we're starting to get a little high. So give it a little burst. Yep, still going up. There we go. Pick the speed back up. I don't remember draining the speed down any, but apparently we did. All right. We will probably take a few minutes to go ahead and make the adjustments to the ship if it's determined that we're going back to the moon to go work on that. I'm kind of hoping that this one's one of the actual like ship sales, and so that it'd be worth staying here and earning some money to upgrade our vessel a little bit. It's not that I don't want to work on the spawn pod, but eventually we outgrow those. So pretty much working on a beeline course straight to the station now. Gonna watch our distance here for a moment to see how we're holding. Seem to be in a incredibly slow ascent. Give it one more little burst. Maybe two. And I'll hold the camera for a moment so I can take my hand off the mouse without adjusting our trajectory because I need to wet my whistle. All right. I'm assuming that we got. I heard the link. Don't know what it meant. Because I think. Oh, yeah. No, I'm pretty sure our unknown signal is already lost to us. Just kind of looking at the terrain around us. Okay, so I'm gonna go into our GPSs. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that one because it's currently blocking me from seeing the distance to Earth. Three good bursts. I'm sorry the start to this is kind of slow, but like we knew we were going to have to make this trip. I was going to just do it on a recording and then post it to the YouTube channel, and then it got pointed out to me by somebody that, the craziest things tend to happen to me when I'm just kind of shortcutting us across something. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll go ahead and play it out on game. We'll see what happens. Other than a couple of really close flybys of rocks, I don't feel like that played out the way that was intended, but it'll be okay. We're going to go see a new station, maybe have a little bit of curious fun over here for 5 minutes. What is our. We are ever so slowly descending. Well, we may be passing that azimuth right now, too. So, for those of you who didn't know, with this most recent update, when you fill up your uh, oxygen, you actually fill up the bottles that are in your system now, too, which I think is a long overdue. I'm going to grab these and take a bite and then put these in here and back in the seat we go. It's part of the reason I've been able to go so long without oxygen is the few times I've been hitting it, I've been refilling the bottle that's in my inventory at the same time. And this is a completely vanilla playthrough. So, yeah, everything that you're seeing is the default game now. And again, somehow I must be slowing us down a little bit when, with the trajectory adjustments. I didn't think about that. I'm trying to conserve gas, so I haven't been turning the dampeners on to make all those adjustments because we really just need to adjust a little bit. All right. In relation to where we were, we've come 215 kilometers since we took off this morning. About that. Up. Okay, so what we're going to do, 103.15. So it's getting a little bit harder to see I wish that was something I could put up on a screen in my uh like on my console. I wish there was something I could look at in here and know our distance to that GPS. Sorry for being so daggum raspy this morning. I don't know what's going on. Get lined up straight on it. Adjust our come on. We may go back into the edge of gravity a little bit, but I think we'll be fine. I think we're going to skirt it so tightly that here it comes. Okay. Not messing around with hitting a planet, so we're just going to go ahead and take this thing. We are generally ascending. I'm okay with that. I think we just crossed the azimuth again. Nice. $60 to go. Our speed is slowed down, or our distance from. As long as we're continuing to ascend, I don't care. And nope. I think we're going to get it up to about 104 and then adjust our. We're at one. There it comes. One oh 103.15 is actually the moment that we break out of the gravity well. That'll be something I'll try to remember for the future. All right, so we're going to probably need to find a source of ice because I feel like we're going to want a full dose for going home when it's time. Sorry, leaned back in my chair there for a moment and realized that I was probably far enough away from the mic you couldn't hear me as well. But can't tell if that's a rock right there or if we have some sort of an event that we're going to pass right by. Probably a rock. And try to get lined up on it. All right. Really wished I had time to explore some of these stones to see if they have any of the resources that we need. Might have to be on the way back after we've made adjustments and have more storage because that's the other problem we're dealing with right now is we don't have enough storage for carrying much to be processed. I mean, if it's a basic stone, not so bad. We have a refinery, but sort of the only reason I am contemplating just building what I need. I just do not feel like I am very good as a ship builder. Make sure that yeah, it's in our inventory. That's what we're off to deliver. Don't know what's in distress down there, but I am not. Yeah. Eyes on the target. Cannot be a squirrel. Eyes on the target. Cannot be a squirrel. God blast. Every time I see one of those white markers pop up, I'm like, ooh, let's go play with the shiny thing. Swear to God, I was a raven in past life. Yeah, I think after I get off stream today, I'm going to go see about getting a different set of headphones because currently the ones that I'm using, it was relying on knowing that it was being used because I was talking into the mic. And now that I've replaced the microphone, I'm having to turn the headset back on every 5 or 6 minutes because it thinks it's idling. Might be better off getting something on a cord. Oh. So did anybody do anything cool this weekend? Play any tabletop games, play some Space Engineers, like go to a convention. I know Gen Con was this past weekend. There were some really great highlights and some really not so great highlights. They had the exhibition center had a really bad leak happen during the massive storm tornado moment where like literally they had a large like a 15 foot by 15 foot area where water was just like pouring in. But the Weather Dragons event, Sentinels of the Shieldless, went incredibly well. They raised over $30,000 for Center for uh, the Children's Advocacy Center of North Carolina. Whew, goodness. We contributed a little bit as a company to the to the event, and we acquired a couple of items during the auction just to help put some more funds into it. So I was glad to be a part of that. If you are a tabletop gamer and you ever want to get your own like actual table for tabletop role playing, the Weather Dragon is where it's at. Mike Jimenez is God, he's incredible. His skills are off the charts. All right, let's make a yeah, pretty hefty adjustment this time. There it goes. That cost more fuel than I wanted it to, but we'll be okay. We're making a straight line for it, and I don't think that we're going to get back into the gravity well before we get there. I think the orb just popped in. Yep, we can now see the orb of where we're going. Love it. Okay. It would be fantastic if we could put together a few million off of sales and running contracts and whatnot to pick up the, I think it's the Hall J. Gives us the ability to carry a fair amount of stuff, but it gives us a jump drive so we can get there more quickly. I think that would be awesome. I think the very first thing I want to try to pick up is a grinding ship. There's a particular one I have in mind that's ion based, but if we're going to be running the contracts where we're going and salvaging and whatnot, that would be the best way to deal with them. Even if we're running over there as like a little carrier ship, it'll be a lot faster to grind it down with a pair of ship grinders than it would be to grind it down by hand. 6 kilometers, folks. We have come 275, be 280 kilometers before we get there. Really appreciate everybody who's been hanging around for the ride. Like, I know this cannot be the most interesting thing to watch at the moment, but I really appreciate you being here for it. We will throw the dampeners on at 1.5. Maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be some ice in those rocks on the other side. And we are arriving. Finally. Took us an hour and 5 minutes to get here. Why are we? Okay. Look at that. Textbook, my friends. Textbook. Just out of curiosity, repair services. Actually, I can't do that or I will immediately crisp. Yep. Okay. We'll wait on that for a minute. Top off on their gases. And apparently we'll hit the button right there. Kind of a tiny little station. Recovery finish 83,000 credits. A ridiculously long journey. What kind of a store are we? And we're not even a frackin' dadgummit. So we won't be here long. Let's go see. I don't need to be poking around in the bathroom. I'm not that kind of guy. Not saying that I won't check some inventory for some free goodies. That's not going to let us in. Okay. Hey, hey, there you go. Okay. Already collected that one. That's. Nope. Hey, we got something. Got some drama. Oh my God. All right. I didn't see anything worth buying. So, I hate that. I was really looking forward to checking out something else. Okay. So let's. There are rocks. I tell you what we'll do. We're just going to kind of lift off. We're just going to go right over here to this rock right there. Unless it's in the Atmo. Saving. Oh, you know, I'm not even worried about going back for that station. There's no reason to even. We probably have one just like it over on our side of the world. In fact, I think that's the one that's down on the moon. So, oh, all right. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. Come to a stop here for a moment. Just kind of assess where we're at. That rock is down in the Atmo. That rock is not. So we will. Not the Atmo, excuse me, in the gravity well. We will fly over here to this one. We're going to put ourselves on the far side of the sun on the rock so that we can actually stay out and work on the ship for a moment. Make some adjustments. Maybe check and see if there's any ice to pick up while we're here. Oh, we just eclipsed the sun with the station. That was kind of cool. We will, we'll make the adjustments. We'll see if there's any ice. And then on our way back, as we pick up on various, uh, like beacons and whatnot, we'll make determination if we're going to go check them out or if we're going to keep going and just try to get back to our station. So, yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I was hoping to get a chance at a different ship, but I'm not gonna. I have no problem with working on this one. Like we'll take and play with this one and make it work for our designs. We just need some place to do it where we can not get burnt up by the sun. We might slap an ore detector on the little miner and shoot around to a couple of these other nearby rocks and see what's around. Because if I were to go ahead and build a big refinery, we could process the uranium that we have on board, and then we would actually be able to quite possibly build a reactor to help with the power situation. All right, so those of you who play Space Engineers, have you played with the new uh, Space Spawn Pod yet? Are there any particular upgrades that you find to be very fitting for it? Curious minds want to know. They really do need like a rangefinder mod that, like, you put like an antenna on the front of the ship, and if there's an object, it'll tell you the distance to object. Kind of trying to spot a good area to, may just have to just straight go on the back of it. Not seeing any ores. Not to say that they're not here, just not seeing them. Might be some ice up top. Having to having to kind of work to find a shadowy spot. Goodness. Is that not an ore right there? Oh, that was a shiny spot. Tell you what, though, we come up like so. Look at that. Nice. Okay, so let's still gonna tuck us up in here. We can go back and forth with the little ship. Love it. All right. So the very first thing we're gonna do is convert to station. That may have just disconnected the miner, but that's okay because we're gonna go get a full load of ice real quick. It did not. Nice. Okay, cool. I cannot believe this little miner does not have a frackin' ore detector on it. Let's, you know what? We're just gonna, not sure if I want to do that or if I just want to take out, you know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take out that one right there. And then we should be able to stick it right there. Takes up the same contour, just one little block back. Love it. All right, let's get down to this then. Did the ore detector, yeah, it's at. Or is this it down here? Yep. All right. Nice. Trying to remember. I can't remember what our total weight was when we were. Fully loaded. Let me. Think we're full. All right. Let's go back over here. All right. Let's see here. Back like so. Nice. Okay, so now that we're producing fuel again, we need to see about how we're going to deal with this ship. So my initial thought is to I guess we could always add a layer to the bottom too. What I would like to do is like cut the whole ship in half. Or like no, there is no way without taking out both batteries, which I don't want to do. Okay, let's take all the armor off. I think that's going to tell us the meat and bones of what we're dealing with. At least up top. Ore detector can be moved easily. I could take and come up here and put like 2 or 3 cargo containers. Actually, I could put 2 or 3 cargo containers right off of this one. Move everything over to it, grind back the machines. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. So, ooh. Trying to remember if I actually blueprinted the one grinder that I like so much. Okay. So let's go into here. And we're going to just move everything out of the assembler. Sorry if I get super quiet here for a moment, folks. I'm contemplating my moves. Okay, that's one cargo container. That was 4. This should be 5. Let's hide empty inventories. Now let's go to 6. Okay, so the way we're going to do this, we'll start actually, let's with the status of our okay. So what I need to do is take this cargo container out first so that it cannot refill. And then we're going to turn this on. Let it recharge what it's going to recharge. That's the assembler. We'll take it off. The refinery has been emptied, so we'll take it off. The H2O2 is going to have to be moved, which I have an idea for that. Wait for this thing to run its way out. Let's take the service terminal off. We might take and deploy the service terminal and put the miner away. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and take this off. See how we're doing over here. About 50%. Let's go ahead and get these off. All right. I love it. How much have we got in here? Not much. Confirm we are definitely in station mode. Yes, we are definitely in station mode. Soon we'll be able to remove that. Okay. Let's put all that away. Almost empty. They can fill up on energy, get a bite to eat. You should be empty now. All right. Now we're starting to get down to where I want to be. Little plate didn't want to go, did it? All right. Let's take this off. Take that off. Okay. Get all this armor down here off. Yeah, we're pretty much just rebuilding the ship because we're at that stage in life. I think that brings us up. Yep. Okay. We don't need the ore detector for the moment. That's what I was afraid of. Okay, so we need to add another. We need to go to cargo container 1. Just going to grind this back for the moment just to keep it from refilling while we figure out how this is going to work. Okay, so let's talk refinery for a moment. Don't think that we're going to be able to do that. I think that's like a station one. I think we're going to have to go this kind of guy. So he has ports on both sides and then one bottom. So if I don't worry about the bottom, see, he's 3 and I haven't even put modules on him yet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 3 by 2 by 4. Three by 2 by 4. So I either need to put it I either have to put in 2 of them to maintain the balance, or I end up having to build an asymmetrical ship. I like odds, unfortunately. That's the problem, is I like ships that have a center point, a defined center point. So if I were gonna do that, let's face it, we're pretty much grinding back everything. I'm gonna keep the nose of the ship is what it feels like. Let us put a temporary hydrogen tank right here. And we're going to put him stockpile mode. So he'll pull everything off of the one that's down there. We're going to need a small tug. Unless you have... No, but you do have a small connector right there. I need to remember that. What is flashing red? Oh, We have no hydrogen. I need to put the yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. It'll start working on filling it up here in a moment. Because I don't think that we're out of ice yet. Yeah, no, we've got lots of ice. Okay. We do 2 refineries, we're going to need a fair amount of power. I mean, even 1 refinery to try to get maximum yield, we're going to need a fair amount of power. There's a medical shuttle. How about we GPS? We top off our gases. And we go abscond a medical shuttle. That'll give us thruster components so that we can put ions, reduce the amount of hydrogen we're burning. As I throw myself off into random direction in space. Yeah, we're going to start cooking here in a couple minutes. So hopefully the intercept does not take long. The nice thing about that medical shuttle is it's going to have a full medical room. The oh, I forget what it's called. How close you got to be? Apparently pretty close. There it is. Oh, my little friend, you were so damaged. Okay. So first thing we do, now we have some place to spawn at. A lot of things that have to be captured. Nice, we'll be able to capture the batteries. My dude, you had a bad day. I'm so sorry. All right, so yeah, bridge helm is damaged. How bad? Pretty bad. Oh, we're gonna need computers. All right. Let us how do we want to do this? First thing we need to do is get the thrusters on. Guess I need to see what all we have that is access denied. Okay. So we run back here. Just gonna bring that down to a minimum. No computers in there. Bunch of computers in there. That's fantastic. Okay, so let's go up here. Oops. Okay. I know that we're going to need to find the that's an ion thruster. Just because I don't know what parts I might need. Ion, let's grind the gyro and rebuild it. We need to find the battery. Oh yeah, oxygen tank too. That's an angled interior. I'm not ignoring everybody at the moment. I'm just super focused on getting this thing under control before it despawns. We're going to have to wondering if it might not be better for me to freaking turn this into a small ship. Goodness. Oh, you know what? I can go on the gyro now that I've controlled it. And I wonder if I put where in the world is the battery on this thing? That's back there. Nothing in the engineer, so we might as well pick up his parts. interior wall. No computers. No computers. Already control. No computers. There's the battery. Dang it. Let me go put these computers in the seat up here real quick. Okay, now I can go put the battery back in play, which is right there. Okay, it's a battery again. Nice. Does that give us... Okay, does that give us control? Yes, it does. Let's talk about thrusters. Are any of them working? Yes. We now need to locate... Nice. Okay. It is captured. I don't think there's anything else. Access denied. There is a broadcast controller that is access denied. Okay. So we need to figure out where the frack that is. Oh, he's back here in the tail. Now we have full control of the ship. Okay. The only things red should be incomplete. Yep. Love it. Let's see. So we have one up top. We have one in the back. We have one on the bottom. And one on each side. We just don't have one in the front. I wonder if there is enough left of the one that's on fire back here. Let's run up here to the one forward one that we have. I don't think there's enough thruster components, unfortunately. Yeah. It was worth a hope. I mean, I guess I could take it off of the top or the bottom. I think we'll just flip it around when we get close. Keeping me busy already. All right. I'm starting with what we have to get an idea of what I want this thing to look like. Slowly but surely. Am I going to succeed in that design? Well, that remains to be seen. But sorry that we're taking the slow route on this, but with thrusters missing in a particular direction, I don't know that I want to deal with having to stop in a hurry. This is going to end up being just a full teardown, which I knew it was going to be from the get go. So like, don't fret on that, folks. Like I think with having this popped up and getting some ion thrusters and some and that medical room, corner medical room, that's going to kind of reshape how I want to do the new ship a little bit. Maybe we'll go ahead and use the new cockpit. That would be kind of cool. We have the glass for it and whatnot. Yeah, we're tucked right up in there. All right. And to keep from ramming the ship, we'll just slide over there. We are in the view of the sun. I'm just going to take a long sigh here. All right. trying to figure out why I can't seem to. Fully stop. You. Okay, finally. Bird to station. We're not going anywhere now. Okay. Let us hop back over to our ship. Okay. Just gonna sit and breathe for a moment while I contemplate this. Think I have an idea. Haven't even actually looked at that new cockpit block to see what it looks like. I know that there's a large grid and a small grid version of it. I know there's a open back and a closed back version of it, from what I understand. We're upside down. I forgot about the fact that the sun is here. Okay, so let's go back in our seat. Let's find out how. Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be staring right at us for a while, isn't it? I'm gonna grumble here a little bit. All right. It's passing under the bottom of the ship, so I guess I can't complain on that. So let's step out. I'm gonna. Whoa. Forgot that I took out some of those panels. I am going to go on top of the ship. It should. Yeah. Okay. So let's go in here to cockpit. Open sloped cockpit, sloped cockpit. Now, the first question. Okay, let me just bring this one down. That's the industrial. Okay, so that is the open slope. God, that's kind of pretty. Okay, so we can pipe it. I think I like that one a little bit better. So if we were to take and we were to take oh you okay. Don't think we need this here right now. It was a great way to close it off earlier, but it's not working for the new design. Okay, we're just going to keep that on us for the moment. That sun is really a pain in the keister right now. This is all light armor, and it's all half slopes. Oh, this headset is going to piss me off today, folks. I do not know what in the world has gotten into it. I take that back. I do know what's gotten into it. The microphone is not reading because I'm not using that microphone, and so it's timing out. All right, let's go run and get this point real quick while we're sorting our world out. Kind of having like a weird, like U-shaped idea. Yeah, we're going to want to deal with this quickly. Of course, I just bumped it, so of course we're going to have to deal with it quickly. Began to think I should have just stayed right outside of the station. At least then I could run back and forth to get food and whatnot. Okay. As much as I hate to do this. That one's no longer connected as a result. Okay. So if I were to take the only problem I have with my idea is that the ship would not do well with tools because the only place to put the tools would be on the other side of the swoop. So we accept right up front that we need to build bays into this. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm picking up what I'm putting down on my own. Pretty much not going to be anything left of this original pot when we're done. Why am I not getting oxygen? I'm piped. The oxygen is full. Is that 47? Is it just slow? No, I'm not getting oxygen. First of all, let's go to the oxygen tank. It is at 100%, but it's also on auto refill bottles. So it is saying that we are not piped. It's because we're not piped. Son of the biscuit eater. Okay. If I were to take, I think the first thing I need to figure out is if I can do this with what we have here built into it. Another one? That was quick. Only reason I'm trying to grab these is because I want the chance at the food. Ooh. Almost ran right slap up into it. Where's the frickin' sun? Put it on the other side here. Okay. Back to the pod. I can't think of the name of the one ship I'm thinking of, but I think I have an idea. I think I just need to like lay it out with some conduit and some blocks to start with. If I were to leave this all here, with the exception of the gyroscope, is this I can't, I think this is all stuff that doesn't go into inventory on its own. Okay. That helps. But I don't really like where. Okay, so the door's got to go. We'll put it back in a few.
Ironically, I don't think I like where a lot of this is.
If I were to leave it in the top of the ship, I would need to move the survival kit. Because I have the medical center on board the other. Ooh, I did not know you had stuff on you. I should have assumed that. I don't know what in the world I was thinking. Okay. This part back here, I don't have a problem with. $960 thruster components. Pretty sure we do not have. Got 146 there and 150 there and 160 there. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen. Let me grab a bunch of steel plates. And let's go into our conveyor. Let's just go to 1. Oh, I think I see it. Okay, so we're going to go this way. Let's go refinery. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm cooking. Just need to hang out here for a moment because, yeah. Those are 2. Oh, yeah, baby. I think I see what it needs to be. I think.
Am I sitting on a bunch of steel plates? Got 1,000 there. 700, 150, another. Yeah, okay, cool. So, all right. Taking forever. Hopefully, I didn't put this thing in upside down. That's what I'm kind of worried that I did. It's not where I wanted it to be, but I can deal with it. Okay. Let's go. Wool assembler. We'll step out of there real quick and friggin' oxygen's not up on this one. That's all right. We're just gonna hang tight over here for a moment and let that exposure level go all the way down. So basically looking at uh putting two assemblers and two H2O2 gens on the side of the refinery. That'll give me my offset that I'm looking for. That'll keep me happy with the being on odds. And then we're gonna go branch the left side and we're gonna do our cockpit and like our living cabin and whatnot kind of off that side. And then up the right side, we're gonna go just slightly longer and we're gonna do like that as our mechanical side where our storage is gonna be. And I don't know if it's gonna work the way I want it to, but we're gonna try. Ooh, I could put a bulk container on that right side. Long as I put appropriate thrust under it or off of it, one of the two. Ooh, nothing like getting irradiated by the sun and having to sit out for a minute. Getting hungry today, folks. I don't know what in the world's going on. All right. It is almost noon. So I'm going to, okay. I didn't even realize the time. All right. So unfortunately, my schedule has changed a little bit, and I am going to be able to be on here more as a result. But I have medical stuff I have to deal with every day due to my disabilities, and it is time for me to do one of the things that I have to do. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half. Um, if I'm going to keep the number of processes spaced out the way that I'm supposed to, it means I need to do the next one between 12 and 12:30 Eastern Standard. So I'm thinking this is a good place to take a quick break. What I'm going to do is I will be back on at, let's call it 2 p.m. Um, and we will go from 2 p.m., uh, maybe 2 to 4. I gotta find out when my granddaughter gets out of daycare, um, because I gotta ride with my son-in-law to go pick her up today. So, I think we made some very impressive effort moving forward, but what I will do if you're I'm streaming to 3 services right now. I'm on Kick, I'm on Twitch, and I'm on YouTube. Um, I'm not saying that you need to follow me. If you do, you'll get the announcements when I go live. I think YouTube has a bell or something like that you're supposed to hit. Um, I think you have to set it up to get the notification, but I am in the process of getting a Discord set up and a Facebook page and whatnot. Uh, but as far as today is concerned, if you look at the time, 2 hours from now, I should be back. And in the meantime, I will kind of finish laying this thing out in the back of my brain so that when we get on, we can get right straight to the building process. So I will talk to everybody here in about 2 hours, and y'all be careful. Go get a bite to eat, hydrate, all those things to take care of your body. And we will talk here in a couple of hours. In the meantime, my name is Zai. You've been hanging out with Draconics Incorporated, and we'll see you here in a bit.